The chill of Kestrel Station bit through my jacket as I stepped into the central atrium, where the air recyclers always seem to overcompensate. A dozen alien species bustled through the plaza, scaled reptilians with steaming breath, insectoid couriers chittering into comlinks, and humans like me just trying to make it through another cycle. I'd been hauling cargo for 3 months straight, scrimping credits for repairs on my freighter, the Wanderer. Nothing glamorous, nothing heroic. Just survival. The small cafe on the edge of the atrium was one of my few indulgences. I liked the smell. Synthetic beans roasted to imitate earth coffee, spiced with hints of herbs from other worlds. It reminded me that civilization, for all its strangeness, still had simple pleasures. That's when I saw her. She stood awkwardly at the counter, a tall woman draped in a cloak of iridescent fabric that shifted colors like liquid metal under the lights. Her hair, if you could call the pale strands hair, shimmered faintly like starlight trapped in silk. Her skin glowed faint blue, markings along her cheekbones shifting as though alive. She wasn't human, but humanoid enough that the cashier didn't blink. She fumbled with her wrist console, brows furrowed. The cashier, impatient, tapped the screen. 72 credits. You paying or not? The woman whispered something I couldn't catch. Then softly, my account, it is locked. The line behind her groaned. A reptilian trader barked. Some of us have real business, lady. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the fatigue, maybe the sadness in her posture. But I stepped forward. Put it on mine, I said, slipping my worn card across the counter. The cashier rolled his eyes but took it. Moments later, the woman was clutching a steaming cup between long, delicate fingers. She turned to me, her gaze sharp and piercing, as if she hadn't expected kindness. Why would you do that? Shrugged. Looked like you needed it. Besides, everyone deserves a hot drink on a cold station. Her lips curved, hesitantly, into a smile. You are strange human. Middle. Her name, she told me after a pause, was Celery. She sat across from me in the cafe, sipping carefully at the drink. I tried not to stare at how the cup's heat made faint patterns of light ripple across her skin. You from around here? Yes. Her expression clouded. No. Passing through. She hesitated, then leaned closer. And you? You are a drifter. Chuckled. That obvious. She tilted her head, studying me. Your clothing is patched. Your boots worn. But your eyes, she trailed off. They are stubborn. You survive no matter what. Her words unsettled me, like she'd peeled me open with a glance. Over the next hour we talked. Or rather, I rambled about cargo runs, bad luck with ship engines, and the loneliness of deep space. She listened intently, as if every word mattered. Occasionally, she'd ask odd questions. Do humans value bloodlines? Do you believe legacy is more important than freedom? Would you raise a child, even if it were not entirely human? I laughed at that last one, thinking she was teasing. If I ever had a kid, I'd raise them no matter what. Blood doesn't matter. Family's what you build. She went quiet after that, her glowing eyes searching mine. When she finally rose, she placed her hand lightly on mine. Her touch was warm, too warm, like fire beneath skin. Thank you for the drink. And for your words. And then she left, vanishing into the crowd. I thought that was the end of it. But 2 days later, station security found me at my berth. A squad of armored guards flanked a tall, severe figure in embroidered robes. Elias Carter, the robed one asked. Yeah. You are summoned by House Vera. I had no idea who or what that was, but resisting armed guards on a station is a good way to get spaced. Followed. They brought me to the upper levels of Kestrel Station, where the rich lived in gravity-stabilized towers with gardens, fountains, and luxury I'd never touched. And there, waiting in a gilded hall, was Celery. But she wasn't draped in travel rags anymore. She wore a crown of silver filaments, robes embedded with gemstones that glowed like tiny stars. I stopped dead. "You're royalty." She gave a rueful smile. "Not royalty. Wealth. Power. A legacy worth trillions in credits." The robed attendants bowed deeply. Celery dismissed them with a wave. When we were alone, she stepped closer. "Elias, I owe you honesty. You bought me a drink, not knowing who I was. That mattered to me more than you realize. I am Celery Vera, heir of the Vera Consortium." My jaw worked uselessly. The Vera Consortium was legendary, an interstellar empire of mining colonies, trade fleets, and political influence that spanned half the outer rim. "And you needed me for what exactly?" asked slowly. Her expression hardened. "An heir. My people, we are fading. Our bloodline thins each generation. Traditional unions have failed. I sought something different. Someone different." She took a steadying breath. "Your kindness showed me you might be that someone." And blinked. "Wait. You're saying you want me to?" "Yes," she cut in. "I need a partner. Not merely a political one. Someone who will not betray me for wealth or power. Someone who values life for what it is, not what it buys." Her glowing eyes softened. "You?" I laughed, nervously. "Celery, I'm a broke cargo hauler. Can't even afford decent boots." "Why me?" "Because," she said quietly, "when you saw me at my lowest, you treated me as a person, not a prize." Conflict. Her proposal should have been flattering. Instead, it terrified me. Billionaires didn't get that way without ruthless politics. Me. I was a nobody. If I got involved, I'd be chewed up and spat out. "I can't," I said, shaking my head. "This isn't my world. I wouldn't survive it." Celery's face fell, but before she could respond, the doors slammed open. A tall, armored alien strode in, scales gleaming black. His voice rumbled like thunder. "Celery Vera. Still chasing your human fantasy?" Celery stiffened. "Zarek, you are not welcome here." "On the contrary," the warrior sneered, "the council demands you secure a union, and they will never allow it with him." His gaze pinned me like a bug. "A drifter. A mongrel. An insult to your house." Celery moved to shield me. "It is my choice." Zarek laughed, low and cruel. "Not for long." His guards advanced, weapons gleaming. Instinct screamed at me to run, but instead I stepped forward. "Hey, lizard breath." She said it's her choice. He turned, stunned I'd spoken. That gave Celery a split second to act. With a gesture, light flared around her, forming a barrier that shoved Zarek back. "Go, Elias," she shouted. "Run." But I didn't. Instead, I grabbed a fallen guard's shock baton and swung wildly at the nearest attacker. The blow cracked across armor, sending sparks. Pain jolted up my arm, but adrenaline kept me moving. Celery fought beside me, her hands weaving light into spears of energy. We were outnumbered, but desperation made us fierce. At last, station security stormed in, weapons drawn. Zarek and his goons retreated, snarling promises of vengeance. When the dust settled, Celery turned to me, eyes wide. "You could have fled. Why did you stay?" Breathless, I grinned. "Because family's what you build, right? Thought I'd start with protecting mine." Her cheeks glowed faintly brighter.